Mumiji in Japan to Susan Jaconia, Rasu Jogun, Zaba Lama Language, Tajeto Jesu Resort, Jemento to Japonjo. Sejilombo da Bonjebego Shajezo, the language, Temel, Satoji Jango, the Marishi Jango Bajeta, what I just about Kunji, Yamendego, and Jangujas. Taso Sejeta Jejelo Josondro, Jejel of the Cholando Loa, Jejel of the Landrobaza, Jejel of the Travaisha, Sajawa Jejela. Nejeje de Pandela Mezzola Jebzo, Jejela, la Mezzola Jebzo, Nasa Pandela Mezzola Jebzo, Tobeta, Jejel of the Tujish, Jejel. The Demba Jejel of the Jajajim, Chujing on the same day, and Latova Jejel of those Sanjip, the Savalamala, Guzungu Bachimbe the Menelo Ramashabata, Sedan Dropa Nyamba Chinjelo. Okay, good evening. So tonight we're going to talk about the precious human life. Before that, um, why we need to know why that's important is generally, I think we can say this one. In samsara, two things definite. Okay. First one is in samsara, it doesn't matter where or how or you live or your condition is that everyone have a suffering. You're not going to find any sentient being uh, without the sufferings. So that's a common, everyone share. One thing we all share sentient beings in the samsara is everyone have some different type of sufferings. Maybe it's not necessarily same. Make sense? Some have suffering because they have nothing. Some have suffering because they have too much. So there's a different type of suffering. Some have a suffering of not having time. Even you have all those beautiful things that you can use. Some have lots of time but nothing to use. so that way. It's a different type of suffering, but we all share that's a common. No matter where you go, you're not going to find anyone truly free from sufferings. That's the first, definitely everyone shares. But the second one is also everyone have a potential to be free from sufferings. Everyone can, if we put effort enough, uh, any beings can be free from suffering permanently, not like our temporary solutions. Like a temporary solution mean that when getting hungry, eat food, when getting thirsty, drink water, or when getting cold and wear a jacket, when getting hot, using air conditioner. Those are temporary solutions. It's not going to be fix the problem. Make sense? So this one is I'm talking about the permanently we can have potential to free from samsara. But now question is what make us that have chance to free from samsara? What is the uh, uh, reason? Can say reason or the main. You know. So no, the main cause. So the cause of the enlightenment is you're not achieving enlightenment. You just awareness gain within you because our nature is pure. We have this called the Buddha nature. Every sentient being have that nature. So like one of the uh, texts wrote by Buddha Mitriya. He said, what is the sign of that sentient being have a Buddha nature? Is it everyone is tired of suffering, and everyone is seeking to the nirvana or liberation from the suffering, and everyone have some degree of a compassion. You're not going to find anyone who like 100% lack of compassion. So those qualities come from because of the we have Buddha nature. So that reason, every sentient being, you know, we all share the same nature. So it doesn't matter like human nature is not greater than insect nature. You know, ants nature is not smaller than elephant's nature. So everyone share the equal same nature. Because of that, we have a potential to reach to the nirvana. Why? Because our nature is enlightened, Buddha. Mhm. This is sometimes we use as an inner Buddha. Now, so the second question is, okay, so we all have a Buddha nature. We have an inner Buddha. So that is good enough, free from samsara. You know, that's not good enough. Just having nature or just having potential cannot bring you nirvana, free from suffering. This is a seed or cause. That Buddha nature is a seed or cause. That seed and cause have to meet with a suitable base. Then that seed can be produce result. Like if you have a healthy seed, any seed, grain, you know, corn or barley or wheat, rice, healthy seed. If you put that healthy seed in the um, mm, uh, mm, uh, what's say in the sand, it's not going to grow anything. Yeah, so you have to have a, uh, 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 suitable soil, suitable base. When that seed meet with the favorable soil, it can grow anything. Just you get that healthy seed and put in the desert somewhere. There's no moisture, no no soil, good soil, and not going to grow anything from that. But if you put that seed with a uh, good soil, then it can grow anything. It's the same way that Buddha nature is like the same as a seed, but that seed must meet with the base of a favorable soil. So another way is we all share the Buddha nature. Every sentient beings, from the hell to until to the god realms, all the six class beings share that nature. But that having nature itself is not good enough. You have to be good condition, favorable base. So, like Kamboba said, the precious human life is the supreme base for, for achieve the nirvana and enlightenment. So we have to have a precious human life. Now, what is the precious human life? What make us precious human life? All human beings who have a human form qualified to call the precious human one. So, so, so what does mean the precious human one? Like a precious human body mean the called the leisure and endowment. You need a leisure mean the freedom or free from all those unfavorable base. Certain base like a from the dry desert sand cannot grow anything. Similarly, the desert sand like certain beings cannot gain the uh, enlightenment. So we have to eliminate all the unfavorable base of the practicing Dharma. Then that is called the leisure, mean the freedom. You have to be free from particularly 8 different type of birth. So when you gain those freedom, then you have a better chance. So you have to eliminate who are not favorable base. Is the first one is called hell beings. Why hell beings are not favorable? Hell beings, one, their suffering is too great, so great. They have no chance to rest even the 1 second. They are suffering of the burning from the heart or suffering from the bleeding from the cold. It's um, so great. So, for example, how hot hell is. Uh, our ordinary firewood heat compounded 7 times harder is it become sandalwood fire. Sandalwood fire is 7 times harder than they say. I never try, so I don't know. But normally saying sandalwood fire is 7 times harder than ordinary woods. Then end of the kalpa when our this universe is a some point will be destroyed. Sometime it will be destroyed by the fire. Okay, so that that heat is 7 times harder than sandalwood. Then hell's uh, heat is 7 times harder than end of the galbus fire. So 7 times 7, 7 times 7, how many times? 49 times harder. No, 40, no more than that. Yeah. Yeah, you have a smartphone. Yeah. Yeah, 343 43 times harder than our cooking. Is like a like become a 100, 200 degree. Yeah, just generally one. Well, but generally wood, we have said 200 degree. That 200 degrees, 340 times, you know, harder. So that kind of heat is not just sometime, continuing, never end. So when you live that kind of environment, you have no chance to do anything else. Make sense? So that way, hell beings not favorable to practice dharma because they don't have freedom. That way, they are not free. Okay, one that one. Two is a hungry ghost. Hunger ghost is always a hunger. And one is like when we don't get food for maybe like a few weeks, we died, yeah? The hunger ghost, because of the karmic, even they don't get 500 years food and water, still survive. Yeah, they survive, they not die easily. Yeah, yes, yeah, of course, who want to be continuous suffering like that? But couldn't. The same is a hell being also. Until their lifespan is finished, then Hungry Ghost in the hell lifespan is really long, but Hungry Ghost lifespan is like saying is like a humans 500 years they live. So that way their suffering is so uh, uh, great, so that they have no chance to practice dharma. Then animal we already knew. Like if your dog or cat sit next to you when you're chanting, you're really grateful. You said, wow, my dog always sit with me. and you what called accurate, what called that, agitated, not agitated, exaggerate, said he you meditate with me. Yeah, we said that one. My dog is always meditating with me. So this is they are not capable because they are ignorant is a greater. So this ignorant is also not talking about the intelligent ignorant, not intelligent. They are really intelligent, but they don't have a sense of what is the virtue, what is the non-virtue. They can discriminate that one. So that way called the ignorance. So those three low beings not capable to. This talk about the majority because their suffering is greater. Then there's one particular god realms called the long life god. This particular long life god is a pretty much everyday kind of like drunk, toxicant. Mind is not clear. Otherwise, a lot of god actually come to receive teaching from Buddha. When you recited the Heart Sutra, end of they said all the Indra, all them are rejoice. Make sense? They are there, receive teachings. So it's not like all God is not capable to practice Dharma. But they have a less reason to practice Dharma because their life is perfect. They have no problem. Make sense? Yeah, so until the death comes, but then that time is too late. So there's a reason those four are unfavorable to practicing Dharma. Now, in the human, now is a come to the human beings. We talk about the precious human. All human beings are precious, also no. One is called the barbarian. Now, historical, I'm not talking about the historical barbarian. Historical barbarian means that all your neighbor is a barbarian. People always say it. Like every history you read, they always talk about the barbarians. It means that none, what called that? None other than you. Yeah, basically they just describe as a barbarian. Here, barbarian is someone who believe negative, negative action as a good, negative action as a positive. So this can be anywhere. If you're really happy doing bad things, you are some degree of a barbarian. Some people, when they can harm other beings, they become grateful, they become proud themselves. Then we sometimes give the reward medal and fame, yeah. But if you believe that your negative action is good, believing that is what is barbarian mean, particularly using that as a faith, based on the faith, your negative action as a based on the faith, this is good, then that's called the barbarian religions. In the Tibetan, according to the Tibetan, when we talk about the barbarian mean so even human being, if you have that kind of mentality, you're not favorable to practice Dharma. Uh, then second one is who who have a wrong view. Wrong view means the not believing in the karma, not believing in the three jewels, all those reality. You don't believe on the reality, reality phenomena. That's become a wrong view. Like, for example, we talk about the Four Noble Truth. Buddha said, you know, truth of suffering is come from the truth of the source of suffering, which is a negative karma and afflictive emotion. If you don't believe that one, then you have some degree of a wrong view. So actually, Jidisunggun said, when you giving to the critic to the all the uh, enlightened beings, all your good things you give to the critic to the enlightened beings, that is some degree of wrong view. When you blame me, all your bad things happen as to your enemy, that is also some degree of wrong view. Because you believe they are the creator. Make sense? You don't believe the karma. You believe they created. Your wealth has come from the Jabala. Your health has come from the medicine Buddha. Your all good successes come from the because of the Guru's blessing, or also some enlightened beings' blessings. That is some degree of actually uh, uh, wrong view. Like when Milarepa later, in the later life, one day they are just gathering all the Milarepa and his student, and one of his students said, "My master, your life is extraordinary. Ordinary people cannot be like you. Ordinary people cannot go through this much." If you read the Milarepa, it's kind of like, somehow it's maybe like feel like we cannot do that. Yeah, you can feel that way. We cannot be like a Milarepa. Impossible. Sometimes you can feel that way. And definitely you are emanation of a Vajatara or Tilupa or someone, some really enlightened beings. So Milarepa said, you believe in your guru as a Vajatara or enlightened being is really good for devotions. But the law of causality, this is the wrong view. Because you don't believe my hard work. Those all years my hard work, you don't give the critic. You just try to give some I naturally got this. Yeah, so that way it said that this is the one of the worst for the dharma, for the wrong view. So that way Jidisungha also said, when you believe that enlightened being or someone is a all your critics come from that one, then that is called the believing in the creator. That means that you have a wrong view. So of course, as I said, you get, receive the tremendous of the deity's blessing, guru's blessing, or the three jewels blessing. No question for that. But their blessing alone cannot be, you know, without yourself involved, your karma, your devotion, your merit. Without those involved, guru's blessing cannot do anything. There's one storytelling. One person practiced the, wild deity. Then he can see the wild deity every day. He can talk every day with the wild deity. Still, he's begging. Then one day, when he came back from the begging food, then wild deity said, "Today I give you a great city." And the man said, "What's your city? I got nothing. I mean, city means I give you good, big gift to you." And he said, "I didn't get any special. All there's somebody giving soup. I got that soup. Other than that, there's nothing I got today. So where's your city?" He said, "In the soup, there's one fat. That's my city." So even the long wealth deity, if you have no karma, they cannot give you anything. Make sense? So the third way, Jiddu said, when you believe everything's come from them, that's the wrong view. You don't believe the karma, no causality. Make sense? So sometimes we Buddhism, we practitioner, Dharma practitioner, have some degree of wrong view. And all the time we blame everything when in our life, everything wrong is we blame to someone else. We never think as ourselves involved. You know, like when you claps, need two hands. Like Shantideva said, if you don't have this body, enemy cannot, an enemy, yeah, enemy cannot hit you. So this pain that somebody hit you, punch you, it's come from both your body and the enemy together make the pain. So you have to blame to both of them. So that way, everything is not like even the enemy want to harm you. If you don't have karma, they cannot. In recently in India, a plane was taking off, suddenly fall down. Everyone died except one person. One person survived from that, crash. So 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 that is showing as a karma, or the wrong view mean that when you don't believe all of those, then just blame it to someone else. That's become actually some part of the wrong view. You believe three jewels, you believe the karma, you believe the all those but then same time we always blame to the someone else of the your suffering. Then it's become a wrong view. So you have to careful that one. Okay. Then seventh one is called uh, absence of the Buddha. It means that Buddha's teaching is not always there. Sometimes Buddha is not there. Certain period time is we call the dark age. So during the dark age, there's no Buddha's teaching. So when Buddha's teaching is not there, we don't have the, wisdom of a knowledge of what should do, what shouldn't do. Yeah, so we have no chance. Then the last one is called the mute. Mute. This is a particular to talk about the mentally mute. Some people, no matter how much teach, I even some actually I met some people. They have a human body, but they are like vegetable, and they are not they're healthy. They can walk, they can eat, but they're no thought, no sense. I met some people like that. He's adult, like teenager. His mother had to put a rope to the waist and to the pillar. She said, otherwise he jumped just anyway. He just go walk, and there is a have sometimes that clip. He just walk there. Yeah. Then so also I saw some kids in Vietnam because of this criminal, what called that, chemical weapons, Agent Orange. So yeah, they are like a vegetable. They are human body. They're not nothing sense. Some can stand sitting, but there's no really. So that kind of is called talking about the mute. So even human beings. So you have to be free from those eight unfavorable condition, which is called the leisure or freedom. Even human being, we have to be free from all those unfavorable conditions. Like earlier I mentioned, seed. If you put in the soil of a sand, desert sand, nothing grow. So those are like a desert sand, nothing grow. Now it's a endowment. Endowment is some say in English not correct word, but basically saying is mean in the Tibetan called the richness. Jorba. You need also richness condition. Richness like rich. Yeah, resource or richness. Okay. Yeah, I think it's maybe richness is better than endowment. Some translators said endowment word is not correct for this sentence, this particular subject. But most of people they translate as an endowment. Yeah. In the Tibetan, if literally translate, it's called the richness. Can say richness? Riches? Yeah, rich. Richness. Yeah, rich. Yeah, have riches. Okay. He's really stubborn. He doesn't want to give up. He's so this is also we divide it into two. Five have to come from other. Five have to be have from within you. So what is the five from have within you is a being human first. Being born in the central land. Central land mean the here talking about the wherever is the Dharma. That is called the central land. Then third one is have all the sense faculty and not commit the heinous crime. Because heinous crime mean the like really one of the worst crime you have done, which is like killing father, killing mother, killing arhat, dividing sangha and injuring to the Buddha. So we sangha member when we sometimes this some certain people's behavior conflict created, then sangha become a split too. That's also not so good. That's not become a device sangha, but it's become a similar device sangha. This device sangha is basically saying is you make the follow to the different Buddha. Like when the Buddha was alive, Devadat, he tried to devise sangha to take some part with him. One group said, "I'm going to be their leader." So either way, so those are not good. Make sure we haven't done those heinous crime. They are not saying is you not truly like people who done the heinous crime is not truly not eligible to practice Dharma. I think you can practice Dharma. But what happened is when that kind of a people come to your community, then your whole community, people will criticize all your community. It's called like a damaging the reputation of that community. In Buddha's time, there one monk came. He killed his mother because he wanted to see one girl. Because mom stopping him seeing her. So he killed. But then when she learned that he killed his mother, she dumped him. So he was really miserable. But he became a monk because he is really regret killing his mother. But then Buddha said to him, then when they later learn, Sangha community learned it, the Buddha said to him, please leave this community because if you stay here, it's going to be a really bad reputation for the community. So I think that reason, but mainly make sure we don't do all those one of the heinous crime. And for fifth one is have a trust or devotion to the three jewels. If you don't have a belief in the three jewels, Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, you're not on the path to the Buddhahood. We always said distinguishing Buddhism and non-Buddhism is what called that refuge. We have to take refuge Buddha as a teacher, Dhamma as a teaching, Sangha as a community support. So I mean, in this case, when we're talking about the Buddha as a teacher, we're talking about the Shakyamuni Buddha. In this moment, who taught all the Dharma is a Shakyamuni Buddha. Rest of teacher came, in India, in Tibet, and in China, and all other places. They are following to the Buddhist teaching. And they wrote many books, but they wrote based on the Buddhist uh, scripture. Scripture? Yeah, sutra. You cannot write outside of that content. Like Jidin Sumga said, if your experience or realization is contradictory with the Buddhist teachings, you're wrong. If your guru's instruction is contradictory with the Buddhist teaching, you have to give up guru's instruction. There's no greater, knowledgeable than Buddha. So if your knowledge is contradictory with the Buddhist teachings, is wrong. There's no question for that. So that way, in this right now, our Buddha as a teacher means the Shakyamuni Buddha. Sometimes Tibetan Buddhism, your founder of the lineage, like Guru Rinpoche, Lord Jidin Sungkun, Milarepa, all those about their life story, but you don't know much about the Shakyamuni Buddha. That's a little bit sad. Makes sense? Yeah. Because everything, like all those great masters, they become a great master because of the Shakyamuni Buddha's wisdom. So when we talk about taking refuge, Buddha as a teacher, this is called the common refuge. So that time is always you have to think about the Shakyamuni Buddha. That is what is according to the three jewel of the outer three jewel Buddha. And then what is the teaching? What is the Dharma? This is called this day now people changing the word, sometime using Buddha Dharma, because the Dharma is a commonly using Hindu too nowadays. Hindu also teaching, they use Dharma. So I was talking to some Theravada monks, they use Buddha Dharma. In the Tibet also sometimes we use as a Dambechu, it means the holy Dharma or Sata Dharma. So so I think you may just say Buddha Dharma. So Shakyamuni Buddha taught the Dharma, so which is called the truth. Sometimes Sata or truth. Sat means the truth Dharma. Why Buddha's teaching is truth? Is that Siddhartha? Yeah, Buddha's teaching is the truth. Because no matter if you open-mindedly try to find faults in the Buddha's teaching, there you're not going to find. If you with understanding, but if you don't understand, then you can find lots of faults. Yeah. I think one of the Buddhist teaching, lots of people have, especially in the Western mind, have a problem. This is, somebody told me, he said, oh, Buddhist teaching is really good, actually, generally very good. But problem is we end with nothing, become nothing. He said, I don't like that one. This guy is not Buddhism, he's a Christian. So I said, I think you misunderstood the emptiness as a nothing. So, sometimes people criticize him because they didn't understand the meaning of the word. Other than that, I don't think so. Buddhist teaching, you can find any faults. So one is Buddhist teaching is truth. That way, anytime you talk, it's always be relevant. Yeah, and always be related to you directly. One is that one. Two is no matter how science become advanced, they cannot compete with the Buddha's teaching, or they cannot prove that Buddha's teaching was wrong. There's no, so far, scientists, none of scientists can, with the evidence, they cannot prove that Buddha was wrong. That is what it means, the Sattva or truth teaching, true Dharma. Make sense? So that is a Buddha taught. So Buddha himself also said, if my word have no reason, no logic, then you can, abandon. You can reject. Buddha said, also, another way said, Buddha said, don't just follow because of what I said. You must follow with your own investigation. You must investigate. You must analyze. You must use logic to make sure all those wisdom are, what called the truth. Like people who do the gold business, they can tell what is real gold and what is not. Every yellow one is not gold. Yeah, there's gold color, but it's not really gold. So those they have a way to check is it real gold or not. He said similarly, you have to investigate is it truth or not. Because when you investigate, you understood, logically, then whatever you do is become fully you doing. From your bottom of heart, you're doing. So that way, the Dharma is that one, truth one. So this reason, like one example of in the Buddhism, we call the five precept, yeah? Not killing, not sexual misconduct, not stealing, not lying, not toxicants. Why we need those five precept? If you break those five precept, no matter where you go to, you are a criminal. You can go to Christian community, you can go to Muslim community, you can go to Jewish community, you can go to Hindu community. You are a criminal. You're breaking the law because they are naturally uh, uh, non-virtue. It's not because Buddha doesn't like those. Make sense? So Buddha just give the teaching that's what it is. So I actually one time even I said Buddhism is not Buddha created. Buddhism is always there. But Buddha saw that truth. We couldn't see. Make sense? So that way Buddha give us teaching. So you know, actually Buddha's word. I'm not sure that later that including Nagarjuna and all those people who wrote the commentary, I'm not sure 100% you can trust or not. But Buddha's word from the Sutra mention everything you can trust 100%. 100% accurate. So that way that's called the Sattva Dharma, mean the truth one. So so this Sattva Dharma is divided into three, called the three baskets. Vinaya, Abhidharma, Sutra. In the Buddhism, all his from the age 39 to until 82, Buddha taught continually. All those teaching, when you're summarizing, become those three subjects. Vinaya basket, Vinaya group, Abhidharma group, and Sutra group. divided into to call the Tripitaka. You can go to any Buddhism community, they all talk these three. Theravada, Mahayana, Vajrayana, everyone believe that one. Subject change, concept little bit change, but all remain on these three baskets. So Vinaya is called the training of the morality. Give the discipline, particularly physically disciplined. That's a teach in the Vinaya. One time we are studying the way of Bodhisattva conduct. So in that conduct, in that text, teach you how to eat, how to sit, how to sleep, how to walk, how to talk. So detail. So whenever that time our teacher, he's saying, I don't think so any parent can give you this kind of advice. From the mundane life cannot receive that kind of detail advice that Vinaya can give you. So Vinaya is teaching on how to discipline. Sometime in the Western culture, some people say, I don't want a discipline, I want a freedom. This is like I don't want to eat, but I want to stomach full. You cannot be stomach full without eating, yeah? Same is freedom is a result of discipline. Without that discipline, you cannot get freedom. If you lose your discipline, your freedom will be end up with a small room. And you lose that completely freedom actually. Even you have no right to sleep when you want to sleep. So if you have a freedom, if you are disciplined, you are free. And I just basically, that the law-abiding country. Of course, if the country have no law, then no matter what you do, you always lose your freedom. So the second one is called the training of the samadhi. Training of the samadhi is a meditation. Lots of people, meditation, they think is just stop thinking. Meditation means you have to think. You have to understand how to discipline your mind. If you not think, how you going to discipline your mind? If stop thinking, can be that is become a discipline, then you should better become a snake or bear. They can hibernate for a few months, really good meditation. That is the meditation not about the stop thinking. Meditation means that you have to really become smart. You have to think. You have to think and you have to find the right thought and stick with that. That's called the meditation. Same time, meditation means that you have to eliminate all the discursive thought that make you unpleasant. So any thought making you unpleasant, like any negative emotion, like anger, hatred, jealousy, that kind of, then you have to find the antidote. Like Shantideva said, if you jealous someone because someone is better than you, then how you eliminate your jealousy is you become that person, and that person become you. Then start have what called a proud, arrogant. Yeah, then your jealous go away. Or sometimes you because of the you are better than someone, and you get kind of what called, huh? Pride. Then exchange, put that person on your position. You become that person, and having jealousy, your pride will go away. Then generally you have too much thought, then counting at the breathing. So those meditation need really intelligent. Meditation need really thoughtful, not about the stop thinking. So I think that is mainly, I think meditation mean that samadhi mean that your mind is a discipline, called the training of the mind. Meditation mean the training of the mind. So mind bring into the calmness. It's called in the Tibetan. It's called the Xinjiang. Xinjiang mean the pliancy. Pliancy? Pliancy. Pliancy. Yeah, pliancy mean the flexible. Right now, your mind never listen to you. You want to something, mind want to something else. Because you're out of control. You really don't have any control of your mind. So cleansing means that now you can control your mind. That's called the training of the samadhi. With this two, then you can have a wisdom, awareness of what is right, what is wrong. So I think I sometimes this is like when you go to school. In school, you have to follow to the rule and regulation. You have physically sit in, go to class, sit, and all those are physical training of the morality. Then when teacher giving you instruction, you have to pay attention. Yeah, you have to listen, not distract your mind with the monkey with the monkey thought. Just pay attention. When you pay attention, that is called the samadhi, absorption. Then you will learn something. That's called the wisdom. So this with these three, you can eliminate all the discursive thought. When you eliminate the discursive thought, you will not create the negative karma. When you not create negative karma, you are free from suffering. That's called the nirvana. So that way we need the those dharma to away. Now, what is the Sangha's job? Sangha's job is Buddha is a Mahaparinirvana more than 2,500 years ago. Yeah? Put the pathway. From there to until now, Dharma is survive. Dharma is life because of the Sangha. You get chance to learn Buddha's wisdom because of the Sangha, called the lineage. Yeah? So this all is a reason, is because of the Sangha, you get the help to learn Dharma. So I think this Sangha community is really important. Some people think the center is not important. It's not about how much you get benefit. It's about how much we can live for the next generation. I think like why Milarepa choose to Kamboba as his successor, not the Rechumba, not the other like Nyenzon Tomba, and many of great actually Milarepa's disciples, they achieved the Rambobadi. They are greater than Kamboba actually for the meditation, for the practice. But he chose Kamboba as his successor because he see through the Kamboba going to have a monastery system. So when Kamboba want to go to 12 years solitary retreat, then Dakini came, said, it's better to do the 12 years of Dharma teaching continually than go to solitary retreat. Because of that way, then Sangha start from there. Then because of the Sangha that he start, that way we have this lineage called the Gaju lineage. Even Milarepa, I mean, Gamboba did, like with the other Milarepa student, whole life go to retreat. We not have this lineage. So having Sangha, having center is really important for the future generation. That keeping the life of Dharma continually, not going to end with you. So we have a really heavy responsibility. Make sense? That way, I think why is the center is important, because some people think center is not that important. Practice is more important. Go to retreat is more important. I mean, retreats are wonderful, but sometimes I feel like there's a really little bit selfishness. Oh, I want to achieve this one. I want to gain this one. Me, 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 me. So when I go to the monastery, like back to the India, Tibet, I always say thanks to the people who in charge of the monastery, who work in the monastery continually, including the teacher, those continually teaching to the young monk. Because they're doing that one, that way our lineage stay. Make sense? So this Sangha community is really important actually for continuing the Buddhist teaching. Like your family may have some kind of a family, what call those things that belong to the family? Heirlooms. Huh? Heirlooms? I don't know, heirlooms? No, no, other direction. You fall asleep. So yeah, your prayer wheel is going wrong direction. What call this? Some family have things that continue. Inheritance. Inherited. Doesn't matter what kind of inherited, but in your life, if you lost that one, that's really bad. So we are inherited with this teaching. If we lose that one in our life, we are the blame. Make sense? So that reasons why Sangha community is important. And some of you who serve to the center, taking care of the center, you may not get sometimes feeling about, oh, I never get chance to practice Dharma. I never get packed to go to the retreat and this and that. Don't worry about that. Your service is greater than actually going to retreat. Because of your service, many people get chance to, enter into the Dharma. So that is what is called Sangha. So we have to follow all those three jewels of Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. Then, mm, mm, this is called richness from yourself. Being human being, one. Being born in the center, where is Dharma, two. Have a sense faculty, three. Uh, um, and not commit any heinous crime, four. And have a faith in the three jewels, five. This five richness have to come from you. But having five richness within from you is not enough. Now you need from the other. So Buddha is come. One, not Buddha not come to the to the earth is not good enough. You have to give teachings. Some Buddha come, they don't get teachings. So Buddha come. He give one, he give teaching of the Dharma. Two, then teaching continue. So that way earlier I mentioned why it's important. Teaching must continue. Three, then have a follower of the teachings. That's called the teacher, Sangha. Because of those followers, we get chance to practice Dharma. We get chance to study Dharma. Then last one is called the compassionate one. Compassionate one means that when you practice in Dharma, somebody had to support you financially. Like whole life, I'm now 55, 56 years old. I never work except the monastery work. I never work anything that make money. I never work one day. How I survive? Because of the people support. generous, kind people support that way, I can buy my clothes and all those what I need to. So that way, same with the center and monasteries, all is survive because of the sponsor. Like Milarepa said, it is true that person who meditating on the mountain or practicing dharma and person who's sponsoring for that practitioner, they when they become enlightened, they will become enlightened together. So that way we need also support from the financially. Every dharma center need the support from the financially. Every monastery need a support from the financially. So these five is called the five richness from the outside. Buddha come, he give teaching, teaching still continuing, and have a follower of that teaching, and a compassionate one, which is the sponsor. So when this all come together, and person who have this all condition, that's called the precious human one. This is in the Tibetan one called the Rinpoche. Word Rinpoche is come from the same that one. Why we use as our guru Rinpoche? Because that's precious to you. We don't call everyone Rinpoche. Anyone is precious to you. Those are Rinpoche to you. Rinpoche mean it's not title. It's your emotion showing your respect. Saying this is a precious to me. That means that it's really important to you. So this kind of a condition on human life is really precious. Why? One, then another one is you have to think this one. Even this precious one, but also really, really fragile, can lose any minute. We have so many conditions to lose this one. Of course, like poison, weapon, those are the condition to lose. Even sometime favorable condition can cause to lose this precious one. Some people die because of the diabetes. Some people die because of the blood pressure. Yeah? Some people die because of the cholesterol. So those all is caused by the favorable condition called the food. Supposed to be food sustain our body, but sometimes they can cause you to make sense. So that way, that much fragile. The human body is really fragile. You have to be really careful, and you have to really utilize it. So whenever you get chance, Milarepa said, "I'm really afraid of death. I'm really afraid of death. That's why I run to the mountain." So in the mountain, what he did, he said, "I meditate impermanent. Death can come any minute. So now I'm free from the death, fear of death, because he reached to the deathless state." Yeah. So that is showing us, you know, uh, uh, we have to be meditated on the impermanent. Any minute come this. I think lots of people don't want to think about the death. It's a spiritual way. It's not really healthy, that one time, somebody gave me the liberation blanket. You know that liberation blanket? Like when people die, we put on the death body. So I took three to India. At that time, my mom came from Tibet to visit me in India. I met her in India. So I gave to her one. And with my mom, there's one Tibetan old lady. Now I know her from my same hometown. And I gave to her one, and mom scolded me. She said, she may get upset. You give her, blanket, that the dying blanket. So some people become offensive when you think that way. So people don't like thinking, but that's not the solution. Some people never go to see the doctor because they worry find some sickness. Yeah, that's right. That's a not good solution. Make sense? So that way, um, method of how to gain the, nirvana or deathless state, which is called the nirvana, as a by thinking impermanent. So they said, like Shantideva said, this precious human life is a really, precious, but easy to lose and get great benefit. So utilize. How to use is you have to treat human body as a boat crossing from the river, river water of the samsara. You have to treat human body as a ride, right? Like horse and those. So you can get to the destination. Yeah, you like now this day you can say you have to treat human body as a like car or airplane, you know. And said Shantideva said you have to treat human body as a like slave. Slave or what not maybe slave is not good. Servant. You have to treat human body as a servant to make sure done all the works, all the chore around the house. So you have to treat that way to utilize it. That is what's mean the said you utilize it, because if you're not utilizing, and that it doesn't matter you have or not the preciousness. So that the reason this is a very difficult to find, and a great benefit can get. What kind of benefit can get is this is a precious human life is a greater than wish fulfilling jewel. Wish fulfilling jewel can give you the endless wealth. When you have a wish fulfilling jewel, you got a great treasure, like a what called a like you found oil in your property. But no matter how endless wealth you gain, it cannot make you free from suffering. Yeah, no matter how wealthy you become, you're not free from suffering. But human body can give you totally liberation. So that way, Chandagome, one of the Indian great scholar, he wasn't monk but great scholar. So one time, Chandagome was invited from the Nalanda. So he coming in the what called the car, okay, chariot. And because of all the monk welcome him, because he's not monk. So what he did is he put the front of him Manjushri, because Manjushri was his deity, Manjushri statue, and he's praising the Manjushri behind. At some point, even Manjushri said, "All those to tooth," he was looking back, Manjushri statue. So there's one Manjushri statue actually looking back like this in India. So that kind of great scholar, even he was a monk, even that like a monastery like a Nalanda invite him to give teachings. So this is Chandakome. And he said, precious human life is actually greater than wish fulfilling jewel, because a human life can give you liberation, nirvana. That wish fulfilling cannot give you free from totally suffering. So how to, using this precious human life, you say you need called the three condition for the mind. Three condition for the mind mean the three faith or devotion. So that way said, what precious human being complete is a physically true leisure and endowment, and mentally three faith: vivid faith, eager faith, trusting faith. Then your human body is complete. So what is the trusting faith? You have to believe, you have to trust to the like for noble truth, like Buddha said, from the compassion give you joy, from the hatred give you suffering. You have to trust that. Like Buddha gave the four noble truth, truth of the suffering is come from the source of suffering, which is afflictive emotion and negative karma. And Buddha said also, I mean, there's lots of those teachings taught. So when you believing on those three jewels, four noble truth, eight noble path, that is what's called the trusting faith. Why we need the trusting faith? Because our intellect mind cannot get everything, particularly when it comes to the Vajrayana. In the Vajrayana, most important to the condition for the Vajrayana practitioner is faith. Guru devotion, particularly faith to the Guru. You have to 100% trust to the Guru, have a faith to the Guru. So trusting faith is that one. Then eager faith means the longing faith. Sometimes it's called the longing faith, sometimes called the eager faith. I mean, now you see nirvana is that kind of quality. You eager to want to gain that one. So that is, you have to understand the quality of the enlightened. What does enlightened mean? What does samsara mean? What does nirvana mean? Like Kamboba at the beginning of the jewel ornament said, nature of samsara is emptiness. But projection or appearance of samsara is a suffering. Why? Because samsara beings are deluded. And same thing is the nature of nirvana is emptiness. But appearance or projection is free from suffering. Why? Because nirvana is free from delusion. No more delusion. Make sense? So that way we need this totally free. We need eager to achieve that quality, totally free from suffering, liberation, and the joy that is permanent, not the temporary. So when you understand all the good quality of the enlightened, you really want to get there. You really want to achieve that one. That is called the eager faith or longing, yeah. And the vivid faith. Vivid faith is also, what does vivid mean?
Bright.
Yeah. I think maybe this is more like admiration.
Admiring faith?
Admiration. Something like that, Tawa, saying Tawa is a kind of like a give you some kind of like a, um, we call the Tawante. Tawante mean that when you see someone like His Holiness Dalai Lama or some great teacher or someone, like a Pope or someone, when you see the holy being, you feel like, wow, this is so amazing. It's a very, very great, you get some kind of that, Like some people, when they meet their idol, they cry. Yeah, they because they give you some kind of great admiration. So you need that one. So those three from the mind called the three faith: trusting faith, longing faith, and vivid faith. Yeah, in the Kenjir Mochi translate in the jewel ornament, vivid faith. But this vivid is some kind of feeling of admiration. They need something like that. When you see the three jewels, you have a really special feeling when you see the Buddha. So with this, then we are one of the like a saying is a in their prayer. Some prayer said, gain the bed, superior than God realms, body that is superior than God realms, and become Buddhahood. Because human body is a both way great. If a human body created negative, heaviest negative can create by is the human. So said, if you utilize the wrong way, human body can be become anger. Anger? Not anger. Anger is like when some people, put a heavy object on the feet. Anger to reborn in the low realm. So from the human actually have a much more go to the reborn in the low realm than other, because the other cannot make that much great negative. Like we can see everyday lion, tiger, they only kill when they need, when they're hungry. If they're not hungry, they don't kill. Human, you fool, but still kill continually if you can. So human can do greater negative than any other beings. So that way I said, wrong way, if you utilize the wrong way, human body can be become anger to reborn in the low realms. Anger? Anger. Anchor. Okay. Okay. Then also said when utilized in good way, human body can be become a stairway to the nirvana. Because the human have a best condition to practicing dharma. Why human are better than god realms? Because god realms have no reason to practice dharma. They don't have any headache problem. They are everything is fine. So they don't need a reason to practice dharma. We have so much problem in human realm. We have a great suffering. We have a great problem. Same time, we are not desperate like an animal or other beings who have a problem, but they have no freedom. Same time, we have a freedom. That way, human body is the best condition to practicing dharma. We have a suffering, same time we have a freedom. That we call the precious human body more superior than god realms. No matter how powerful worldly beings like a god, naga, demigod, there are many great powerful. They cannot get something that human can get, which is the nirvana. They cannot follow the path that human can follow. It's called the path of the Dharma, Eight Noble Path. So that make that human is a precious mean. But of course, if you're not utilizing, this is not precious anymore. This is like you have a really delicious fruit, and you said, "Oh, this is really expensive. I cannot touch." You know what? Then you have to put on the table. Say, "Don't touch, don't eat. This is really expensive." Then what's going to happen? Yeah, so Ross and end up in the trash can. So then, if you're not utilizing, one day we become a food to the animal. Make sense? So we have to think like that. So this is what it means, the way we have to think about the human life. So human is the best base for the practicing Dharma and playing the seed of Buddha nature. Is the best soil is the human body. Not too hot, not too cold, not too dry, not too wet. Good condition. Okay, that is what is precious human body is. Otherwise, body itself is not precious. When animal died, still make money. You can sell the meat, you can sell the skin, you can sell the bone. There are lots of money can make from the animal body. Human body, there's no money, but you have to spend more money to get rid of it. No matter how important in your family, they will pay lots of money to get rid of you. You died. Nobody want. So body itself is not precious. There's nothing good also. Shantideva said, human body is a filthy leather bag. So that way, they said, when you put the spoon in the mouth, don't put in the honey. Because your mouth water destroy the honey. That much bad. I heard that one. Once you put in the mouth, don't put back. Because it had a bacteria. Bacteria? Bacteria. Yes, it's a very bad. So it's not talking about the human body itself, and also look. God Ram's body is much look better than human. Yeah, you remember Buddha have one half brother called Nanda. He really attached to his wife. He couldn't leave home, but trick him, take to the monastery. So then he was so thinking about his wife every day. He couldn't, meditate or anything. He's constantly thinking how to run away from here. So Buddha said, "You like to see Gadram?" To Nanda. And he said, "Yes." So Buddha's miracle power. Buddha took him. And Buddha said, "Okay, I will rest here and meditate. You look around, you sightseeing and come back." So he went and he sees most of very beautiful girls, many mentioned. And one mentioned is empty, only girls waiting. Then he said, "Why there's no man, no God, men?" They said, "Oh, Buddha's brother is practicing renunciation. He will be born here after he dead." Then he came back. Then he become a really serious practitioner. He 100% totally stopped thinking his wife. And Buddha said, "Which one is more beautiful?" He said, "They are not compatible. My wife and those God." Then when I see those God women, my wife's really ugly. He said, so he stopped thinking, totally stopped thinking. He only thinking about how to reborn there. That is showing as a physical appearance. God realm is much better than human realms. But still, human are more precious than those. Why? Because of the ability. It's called in Sanskrit, it's used as a brush. Brush is sometimes you translate as a man, the male, man, but also it means the capacity. So human have some capacity that no other sentient being have. That way human are called the brush. It's not like talking about a man as a male. It's this one is a meaning, is talking about the, um, what called? Yeah, capacity. Okay, if any there question or comment? No? If not, then we can dedicate. By the virtues collected in 3 times by myself and all beings, Sara Nirvana, by the innate virtue, I and all sentient beings, complete and precious in Manza Sanje Namataye Yesu Jowa Dujen Yonder Sempa Dujen Lala Sanjay Chansen Padme Porchi Dewa Dosa to Menpai Dewa Chen Shi Jawe Shin Sashan Dene Tsepo Mata Dewa Shanji Mama Chu Dero Jene Nande Dojo Deje Doji Mama Joshua Sanjay Johnson Tam Jeki Gave Drew Fajin Jila to Soul Ayata Benzandri Awambo Nanayoso Jamchu Senjo Khenpo Maje Pala Tenyu